Howdy folks, it's Bob Zimmerman, owner of Pandora Creations Photography, and I wanted to let you know what happened last week. Last week I went out on a photo session. It was Monday night, Tuesday early morning, and caught some beautiful pictures of the Northern Lights, also known as the Aurora Borealis. And what I've done is I've got several of these up on my webpage, and like I do from time to time is I'll order a picture for myself just to make sure that the quality's where I want to have it. Now there was several things going in my favor. One thing was I was there to begin with. I saw the forecast and it looked like there were going to be some northern lights. Another thing that happened that was good fortune was while taking one of the shots during one of the exposures, and these exposures are between 15 and 25 seconds, well, during one of the exposures a car drove by, and while this car drove by, obviously it had its lights on, and it illuminated some white signs that were nearby, and that allowed me to get a white balance. And what that means is that I was able to get the colors pretty much spot on. To give you some idea of what I'm talking about there, we've all seen photographs where, for example, the skin tones look a bit red or perhaps a bit yellow, and we would call that a warm image. And sometimes the skin tones look a bit blue, and we would call that a cooler image. Well, when you get your white balance correct, or as close as it can be, then your colors are right on the money. So your skin tones look like skin. Now, there is some creative playroom in here, and I've decided when I uploaded a few of these photos to my webpage, I've left a couple of them a little bit toward the red side, a little bit toward the warmer side, and I just like the way it looked. I've got one here that I've done myself, and this is one where I've made sure that the white balance is right on. And you can see I've got, this is in the Lake Ann area, and right here we've got a power station, and you can see in the background the gorgeous display of northern lights. Now I was out there for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and I ended up with about 140 pictures taken, and almost all of them came out. I really got lucky. I've got the first batch on my website right now. I think there's 20 or so photos up there. And the other night I went through another batch, and I've got another 20, maybe 30 that I'm going to end up with. Some the exposure was too long or too short, or there was too much noise, or the car went by and I didn't quite like the effect that I got. But anyway, the whole point is like I said, I like to occasionally order a photograph from the company that does the printing for my website, or for my website and photography business, and it's MPix Labs. And if you saw my last video, you noticed I got a 20 by 30 canvas wrap. Well, my pockets are deep, but that's only because there's holes in them. So this one's a little smaller, and you can see it's a nice sealed box, nice and sturdy, because there's a photo in there, we can't bend it. The United States Postal Service does a fantastic job. So let's just take a look and see what we got in here. Now I've got a little more mobility today, because the cast came off, which I think it was off in the last video that I did. And on top of that, I'm now able to take the splint off when I'm at home, in a safe zone, so to speak. Not saying that me holding a knife is safe, you know, hopefully I don't cut my arm off here, but I think I'll be okay. So let's just go ahead and see what we got. And once again, the provider, host of my website, and people who do all the work do a fantastic job of packaging. This has got some foam in it, a nice cardboard backing. This one was inspected by Donna, it looks like. Alright, thank you, Donna. So let's just see what we got here. Carefully open that. Just take a look. there. And I would have to say that I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And this was another one where a car was driving by, and you can see his headlights over here. Right here, these lights here from the fire station just up the road. Here's the power station here, and then here's the beautiful northern lights in the background. It was just a beautiful composure. I got very fortunate. It was I had to take a few test shots just to get it how I wanted it, but I think they came out pretty good. Now you'll notice on this photo there are no white borders around it, and what this is that I've made the photos, and there are options on the web page, and they're known as a best fit. And what that means is that when you select that photograph to purchase and select a best fit size, whether it be a print, a canvas wrap, or a photo float, you're going to get the photo edge to edge with no white. By white I mean white paper. Now, if you were to, let's say you custom matte or custom frame your photos, and you like to do that sort of thing, or know where you can get it done, you could get this photo this size and a larger piece of paper with the white edges, and then just matte to cover up the white. But anyway, that's the one I went with, and I have to say, once again, I have no complaints, and MPix has, I think, done a good job here. Now you may be wondering, what causes these things? What in the Sam Hill makes those northern lights? Well, I'm going to tell you, in a nutshell. Basically what you have is high energy particles from outer space, let's say for the most part electrons, you got a few protons in there too, and since these are charged particles, when they approach the Earth, they get caught along the magnetic field lines of the planet, and as they make their way along the magnetic field lines, they eventually will terminate in one of the poles. As they come down into their inevitable collision course with the Earth, often they will hit a particle, and by particle it can be atomic oxygen, molecular oxygen, or molecular nitrogen, for example. And depending on which one of these atomic particles that these high energy charged particles hit, that's where you get your color from. So that's just it in a nutshell. You know, Google it up. The internet's certainly going to give you a better explanation than I will. But that's just a brief description of what causes these lights. And they don't happen all the time, obviously, or we'd all be out there every night getting pictures all the time. But we've been in an unusually high activity of this sort of thing. And it's been going on for several months now, and I'm finally glad that I've got out there and gotten a few photographs. And I'd have to say that this session was one of the best that I've had at Pandora Creations Photography, and I'm very happy and very proud of these photographs. And you can visit the web page. There will be a link at the end of the video, and just go and have a look. You know, you don't have to buy anything, but looking's for free. And thank you all for your support. I really do appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun getting this business going and started up, and hopefully I can keep bringing you more beautiful photographs, and hopefully I can get some more of these beautiful photographs. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.